I'd like to open up this work session for today, February 10th, 2026. And our microphones are not warmed up yet, so I think.
Neither am I. Freezing.
We'll try that again.
And it's almost summer today too. How about that? They're not on. You can't hear.
No, the little red light ain't it.
Did it light up?
You gotta hold it in a second.
I think it's okay. Now I think it's doing something.
How's this?
Still not lit up.
I just saw it flash green for like a second.
You gotta hold the button in for a minute, Tom, I think, until it light.
I did.
There
it goes.
There it is.
Now it's working.
There.
All right. So there's not an awful lot on the agenda for the work session here, but the first thing up is the general obligation bond that we're needing, and I think Dan's going to talk to that, right?
Yeah, I'll just read what my notes. There's a bond reading call. It's called the due diligence call, scheduled for the 25th of February. The resolution that is going to be presented at the council meeting is just another step in obtaining the bonds for capital improvements. Preliminary prices for certain projects are greater than expected by applying for grants, requesting funds from legislature, utilizing enterprise funds and road funds already set aside. A great deal of progress can be made over the next 2 years. The below project for Lake Street might be delayed until 2027 while we await EDA grant decision. So I hit submit on that grant application for the southern end of Lake Street Road, the lift station force main on Lake Street, and for the one on Warner Street. One's 36 years old, the other's 33 years old. The EDA grant will cover 60%, but we still are obligated to cover 1.7. So I did request legislative directed spending from Representative Vanderwall. I don't know how that's going to end up. But the EDA, that could delay it by enough time where it wouldn't make sense to start the project until post-winter of 27. But it's too much money to pass up and not wait for $2.5 million. So that's why that would be delayed. And then what I have on the plan already is to do the crush and reshape of the north end this spring, the mill and fill from Thompson to the bridge on Lake Street, and then the industrial park. Those are set to go because they're the simplest projects to do. Where Livingston, that's coming in around 4.5 million, and Muskegon's about 2.3 million. So that's a bit more than I anticipated. So I requested another legislative directed spending from our senator, and I'm going to reach out to the U.S. senators' offices this week as well. It's a lot of money. All in all, the projects are about $15 million, and we're getting an $8.5 million bond. And I'm going after every grant I can to make this happen. And then I even asked the bond attorney if we were to up it to, let's say, 10 million rather than 8.5, is that feasible? And he said we would have to do the whole public comment period again and delay it even further. So I'd rather just cross that bridge when we get to it, needing more money. I'll present the bids in a resolution next session, but we got 3 bids for Muskegon and Livingston, and Prine and Newhoff came in way under what the other 2 did.
That's good.
Yeah. So that's the update on the general obligation bond.
You didn't mention anything over by Country Club area. Has that been scrapped for next year
It's gonna have to,
or this year?
there's no area I wanna do more than that area, but just pacer rating and, a pacer rating is our road condition, and I have another chart of our, where our lead service lines are, and you overlay those two on each other, Livingston and Muskegon make more sense.
It's because they're older. That area of town where you're talking about, that's all, if you wanna call any part new, that's
Yeah.
newer than
Really?
the rest of it.
South of town, yeah. South of Country Club,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it is one of the, I mean, it's barely drivable. I feel bad for people on that street.
I agree. That's why I'm thinking outside of the box for any funding I can try for.
Is
Yeah.
patching gonna work at all?
Is that a complete rebuild or would that be another mill?
That's a complete rebuild.
So that's gotta have water, sewer, and the whole 9 yards.
Maybe not sewer, but yes, on the water. And for sewer, if it's not a force main, I just want to do what the cured in place piping, which is a lot cheaper. You don't have to dig it up. It's like a sock that goes in and makes a pipe within a pipe, kind of clears the way. So any sort of cost savings we can do, I'm trying for, but I also don't want to cut corners and then have to deal with another problem a few years from now. So it's just a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be, especially for Livingston.
This might be what you referred to just a minute ago, but I was wondering if you've got an indication from Dickinson Wright on what the final interest rate is probably gonna be?
No, that's the call. Like they're going to call me and ask a whole series of questions about our finances,
Okay.
and then the bond rating will come from that.
I would think our finances are pretty good. It's just our roads that suck.
Mayor, question? Is it possible to do any filling and patching on that street?
Filling and patching, like pothole wise, yeah, we're
There's
going
some
to
big ones.
we're going to continue doing that. It's I wish we could just do a crush and reshape, but it's in such bad condition.
Does it make sense to gravel it?
It's probably not a bad idea.
I mean, it needs, there's just big holes. They're probably ruining their cars and axles and losing little kids in them. And so I would, maybe that's a possibility. I just feel bad for people who live there. That's just,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll send out our pacer rating to the council. It's poor, like beyond poor actually. Some roads just completely fail. I'm trying to fix the problem.
Come up Alice Street.
Alice Street's awful too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not even in the near future, are we?
The nice thing about Alice Street, if we did Alice Street, that would probably be a crusher, whatever, a mill and fill, because that was done when I first moved into that house. It's been, that sewer and water's good.
Was the road rebuilt too?
Yeah, it was everything. It was
Those are the wins I'd like to find.
yeah, Alice Street from almost all of it.
Yeah, I would say all of
Because I had
it.
a ditch in front of my house when I
Where
first moved
it's
in.
all curved at, it's all
That's all new. Yep, it's all new. I think from Warner to the city limits, maybe.
How long ago was that?
15 years ago, maybe a little longer.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that was all done. I mean, I remember having to go through my neighbor's backyard to park in my backyard because we couldn't park anywhere. It was 25 feet down to the bottom here.
And curbs on Alice were done during Jerry Haminga's time.
During what?
Jerry Haminga, city manager's time.
This is the pacer rating. Just pass it around. I'll email it to all of you. Dark red is really bad.
Scott, Jerry
like
Haminga
things.
Jerry Haminga was probably before Scott Hubler.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, long time ago.
I guess so. Hubler was here for, what, 22?
24.
24?
Yeah, but Haminga was here for quite a while.
I've got a question that, I'm just curious, when these bonds go out, do these get, basically they'll get bought up by a fund of some sort who puts together a long-term municipal bond thing, right? I mean, it's not like something you could go out and buy. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're pretty much, I went to one of these for a school bond one time. And they'll be 30, 40 buyers, but they're all funds.
Right.
And they'll buy in different, it takes about an hour,
Yeah.
a couple hours, and they sell it, they'll typically sell it off pretty fast, but they're in pretty big chunks.
Right, that's what I figured. I read the whole 25 pages of that bond thing, and oh my gosh, is that awful reading.
Do we have an analysis of this, or did I miss it, like how many miles and then how many are failed, how many are
Oh,
very?
yeah, the dark red is fail.
But do we have, like,
80, 90.
where's
I'm
the,
just rough
Oh, you're
estimating.
just
By the red, I
guessing.
can see.
Percentage, I have no idea.
that'd
It's
be,
a lot.
yeah. I'd be interested to know our total mileage and then how we rank. I mean, just, if you have any extra time,
Get out your ruler.
Yeah, it's on the, I say, yeah,
and
get your pencil out.
during
I
your
mean,
lazy lunch hour.
There should be a legend on there.
But
Well, I mean,
It's
not
everywhere.
the only
It's
one.
everywhere.
it looks like it's
Problem.
everywhere,
You
the
could throw a
dark.
dart and find a place that needs.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Scott used to say that we had 26 point something.
That
Yeah,
might be
it's
right.
miles.
Miles of road in the city.
We have that somewhere when we opted to raise the millage, without a vote, because we could raise it that 3 mills of dedicated street funding, which, is that part of this mix as well?
No.
It doesn't have a north, south, east,
So what-
west on it.
What's being done with that?
So that was one of my homework assignments
My roads,
to see if we want to fully
either very poor or fail.
accumulate that.
Well, we do, I mean, it's automatic, I mean, every 2 years it's supposed to be enough to do,
I
Looks like it's.
it
I
used to
don't
be.
think it amounts to that much, does it, Will?
Not anymore.
Well, but the idea, I mean, when I was on last time, was that every 2 years we'd be able to do one of our roads.
Up to Mary,
Yeah.
Brad.
But we still have it, I mean, it's supposed to go to roads.
And I know it was at least.
Yeah, I mean, there, and that's why I said in there, like,
So
I'm still
this
budgeting money that was set aside.
Okay.
Just 2 roads are $7 million.
It doesn't go as far as it used to.
We should just gravel them all.
Pretty much half.
Go back to horse and buggies.
Right. So anyway,
Make you want to cry.
I guess you covered the first 2 items on that, discussion items, and the next one is community-centered discussion. Anybody want to start that?
Why don't I have,
So I'll just, the church on Division is for sale. It's been for sale for a while. I think it's up for $450 or $350. Some of us went and checked it out last week just to see what it was like inside. I found it's the nice, great space, but needs a lot of work.
What kind of work?
Every kind of work.
A lot of, maybe, I don't know what you consider work, paint. There's that one spot in the chapel, or in the sanctuary that's bad, the roof. Other than that, as far as the space goes, I don't, it's something that I see as a work in progress, that if we ended up working towards getting that, I mean, we just do it in pieces.
Do what's urgent.
Do what's necessary and urgent, and, I mean, we don't have to use the whole building at all, right from the get-go. There are 3 or 4 nice offices upstairs with an elevator. It's ADA compliant. The huge thing is the fire suppression system, which it does have. That's very, very expensive if you ever want to do a building and have that put in. It's got a 10-burner stove, 10-burner 2-oven stove. It's got a commercial grade dishwasher. It's got a big meeting room with a stage and 1 hoop.
A hoop?
Yeah, 1 basketball hoop. You can play half court.
Carpet.
In Carter, yeah, but that's, I guess you could still dribble on it. I don't know.
With windows at the
With
opposite
windows on
end.
the other end, at the
Oh my
opposite end of the opposite end, they said they never had a problem. But the main structures, when I went through it, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, some of the paint's a little horrendous upstairs, but,
Did you take any pictures?
no. But I got the thing in the Jeep, I'll hand it to you. I got the thing from the real estate agent.
Okay.
I guess I would say, I think, Jeff, you and I have talked about, I think it would be a great space for, all different kinds of things. I've talked to a lot of people about it, I've thought a lot about it, I just don't see it being something the city should get after. I would love to be able to support something, like if a senior center went in there and we could provide a little bit of funding like we're doing now. I just don't think we should get into that real estate. It's even at free, I just can't get on board with it. Like I said, I would love to support something that went in there, but it's just not a project. I think we don't have the staff to manage something like that. And I think it would take a while to get there, even if we didn't open it all up at once. It just feels like a slippery slope.
I don't see any way that we would ever break even on that in the next, I don't know how we would generate any money.
Well, the
To
thing
do
being is,
anything
we
with
haven't
it.
even talked to the church to see if we need to buy it. They may lease it for $1 a year to us or something. Nobody's ever even had a conversation with them as far as, we walked through it and looked. That was it. I
I
mean,
know.
nobody sat down with them.
And that's why I say I thought about it a lot, and even if they were to give it to us, it's a liability that I don't think the city should take on.
We got enough problems with trying to maintain the old playhouse. That, I mean, anybody been by there lately and seen icicles are probably as bad as the ones out here on the building out here, at least.
Like that every year.
I mean, for a building that had, $3.5–4.5 million worth of renovation work, if they didn't do anything to fix the ceiling, it's just disgusting to look at it that way.
I think, I'd be interested in checking into it if there was interest from surrounding townships, City of Montague.
Well, that was my thought is
Whitehall.
who wants to be the players?
Yeah,
I mean, Lebanon Lutheran is looking for a place for a food bank. Would they be a player in it? Agewell, well, that's the thing I couldn't think of, Tom, when we were sitting at Agewell Services. Could they be a player and put a North End office in? Meals on Wheels, could they be a player with a commercial kitchen? Can they, I think we could get creative with this. But again, it depends on who wants to join and what the church wants to do with it. I mean,
I think a multi-jurisdictional, I would like to see City of Montague, Fruitland, Whitehall Township. I mean, everybody can go to the White Lake Senior Center, so I don't think it necessarily would have to fall on us. We need to probably do something about a senior center at some point.
The Age Well and I don't know about Meals on Wheels so much, but all those places, they're already broke. They don't have money to put in.
They've got money.
They don't. Well, I'd like to, I would be a flat no on it unless I can see some financial justification for doing it.
I don't disagree with any of the situations that could potentially go there. And I could see partnering to do some work with some help with the work, but in any of that, I don't think the city should take possession of the building and responsibility for the building in any way. I just don't see it would be a financial, I just think it would be a slippery slope that it's not a sustainable thing. And staffing, I just don't think that the city can, even if it were it just isn't at a point where anybody could take it over and run it sustainably at this point, and I don't think we should be in the business of developing that end of it.
We talked to Don Bond, he was there,
Oh, okay.
and he's not in favor of it, whether, it's just his opinion, but he said it would fall under the DPW's responsibility to maintain, as far as the yard, the building, if something broke, And he said, he doesn't have the staff to, to even barely maintain what we have right now. He said to add a building like that, he said would just be a lot for him in his current.
I think we're jumping way ahead though. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
I was not necessarily thinking that we would just automatically just up and buy the building and own it and run it. I mean, the White Lake Area Senior Center folks, they're a nonprofit group and they manage the building over in Montague and they lease that from the city of Montague. So I don't necessarily jump ahead and see that we would own the building, we would staff it, DPW would take care of it. I was gonna recommend this in my messages. We used to have joint meetings with City of Montague at least once a year and talk about shared opportunities. I would like to suggest we do that again, and then also, I mean, it's a regular meeting, but I would like to bring in other municipalities and have an agenda with a number of topics. We already do, share some things, fire authority, ambulance, but there are still, it's a way to meet the needs of our residents and the people who live in the area. So I would like to put that on the agenda for like a multi-jurisdictional meeting. And
I think those are great ideas, and I would certainly support that as well. You're right, jumping ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we have any business looking at buying property without even any sort of.
I don't think anybody was suggesting that though.
No,
I-
my
but I
suggestion
thought we
was to
were.
look at the structure and see if it could meet our needs, and I think that.
But we don't know what our needs are. I guess that's the ideas are great.
Yeah.
Certainly,
And the needs are gonna depend on the players, so.
right, and a handful of certainly good ideas, but just without some sort of organization around it, I think if a buyer comes along for the church, they need to snap it up. But if there's discussions to be had for ways to go forward in all directions, not just with that specific property, because there may be other opportunities, but without
Oh, yeah,
who the
I would
players
like
would
to have
be
a
and
conversation
all that.
before
Certainly would be
saying no.
supportive of that. How do you do that? Would you just pick some people to meet up together? Because it seems like having several boards meet together could be just a
Well,
bunch of chaos.
it would be a special meeting, but at the very least, I would like to see an annual joint meeting with the City of Montague. But I also feel like dollars are scarce. We want to provide for our residents. We consider ourselves the White Lake area. We're not just looking, granted, we're City of Whitehall, but I would like to look at more ways to work together. Maybe it's a lease thing. Maybe somebody else wants to take, the lead and own it, and then we're a partner in it. But it's just a way to provide for people who live in our community. I also want to talk with other jurisdictions about housing. I think there's ways that we can partner on affordable housing as well.
I would like to help them find a business to put in there that we could generate some tax money from or something like that.
Well, we are working on a rezoning.
But I don't know what kind of business would go in there, but I would love to help them find
Is
somebody.
that is part of the Tiffin district?
Yeah, it is, but it's zoned for church and residence, so changing it to a lot of business.
I don't see them getting the church in there either, because the sanctuary part is so small that a congregation that size could not support that building and do the work on it, is what I'm guessing. And I think that may be part of what did the church in. I don't know that, but.
The church's been there for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that church left is because they built the one in Montague and they split and then they moved back together. That's the only reason, otherwise that church would have still been functioning. Just like Lebanon, that area in there is not much. Lebanon may have a little bit more, but it's not much more of the actual.
But they don't have nearly as much building to take care of either.
Oh, absolutely they do. Absolutely, they got 3 floors, 2 floors on that side, 2 floors on this side, plus a basement.
know that church like the back of my hand. We grew up there, so there's a lot of room in there. Okay, so I guess from,
So is there any action or something on the floor that I should start working on?
Could we at least send out a note to Montague, Fruitland, Whitehall Township, Montague Township, White River, and mention that we toured this and there was some talk, we're not obviously gonna step up, but, you know, was there any interest in having a conversation with a few folks about, you know, going into a cooperative partnership with it? I would at least like to see us do that. That's, you know, not saying we're doing anything, but it's just putting it out there, and who knows, maybe there's, you know, interest amongst the others.
Find a philanthropist that's willing to do something with it.
Well, you never know. I mean, if we reached out to,
then the problem is that senior center money is not gonna get any better.
no,
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It leaves several $100,000. I toured it. Christy showed me this stuff and the building's imploding. They're gonna need something soon, and somebody's either gonna have to pony up the money to do it, or they're gonna have to find another place.
I thought it was about $200,000.
Or
No, it's actually the city of Montague actually owns that building.
yes, I know. So somebody's, either Montague's gonna have to come up with the funds to fix it, or
Or we'll be out of senior
we'll be
center.
out of senior center.
Yeah.
Have to relocate somewhere.
That about it?
Dan, I guess I'm just not clear on what it is that we're looking to do. I mean, is there interest in what? I mean, what are we proposing interest in looking at? I just am not sure what we're asking these other
I
townships.
guess what I would look at is who wants to be who would want to be part of the partnership. I mean, you know, talk to Doug Ogden or Reverend Ogden at Lebanon and see if they're interested in, maybe get a hold of Agewell, see if they're interested in maybe putting a satellite up here, and talk to the Meals on Wheels people and see if they're interested. I mean, quite honestly, for them to take that, make that food down there, put it in a truck and truck it all the way up here.
No, I get it. I'm
But
not
I just-
disputing the need or the
No,
or
I'm
the
just
interest. I just
who we need to talk to.
okay,
and
yeah,
find
and
out
that's where I'm going.
who would be
and then-
players in the chess game.
But
Yeah, and I want the municipalities.
And the municipalities as well.
I'll draft up a
And-
real general, non-committal for you that you can take and use as you wish, just because I have an interest in seeing what's out there.
Well, my take on that would be that I wouldn't want the city to be the owner.
We can state that in the, yeah.
Because it's ultimately, I think it's gonna fail, and I would rather have somebody else in ownership of it.
Well, I think it depends on who's interested in doing what and how much the church that owns it now, what they would be willing to do. And who's gonna step up and manage the whole situation, and that's where you would need input from all those folks, and who's gonna take the lead on any of the ideas that come to the table. So,
And maybe it won't go anywhere, but I
And that's
just think
right,
it's
maybe.
worth, but you
It's
do
worth
not wanna
asking.
lead by saying, we think this is gonna fail, but are you interested?
Yeah, it's not.
That's why I see it.
no, don't, I would.
I know, that's
And
why,
maybe that's pretty dismal, but
that's why I'll write it up, Tom.
you know, you bring in these people and they find out that it doesn't work, and okay, well, we're gonna back out, but you still own it. Now it's your problem
Wait,
altogether.
There's
Nobody's
nothing to
saying
say
we
that
wanna-
would
nobody's
own it.
saying we
There's-
wanna
There's
own it.
nothing to
Well,
say
but
that the
that's-
church wouldn't still own it.
Right.
We would lease it from the church for X amount of dollars.
Okay, well, that would be
I mean,
different.
it's.
Yeah, that's
I don't
what
know.
we
I still
haven't
don't wanna
done
lease
it.
it.
Yeah, we
Maybe
haven't
that
started
either.
on the-
Yeah, nobody
I don't
says
want dollars in
that,
it.
nobody
Real-
wants
real
to own
estate.
it here, so.
Well, the other thing is depending on what you're planning on using it for would depend on how you would want to reclassify it as far as zoning goes. I mean,
It's more of a blank slate, I think, like retail business or offices. It's just allowing for like the downtown to creep a little bit, one block.
I mean, if say the church still owned it, and 4 or 5 different municipalities all decided that they would contribute something towards it. You know, can Agewell use the kitchen under the present zoning? You know, it's not a church anymore. A church owns it, but it's not actually a church anymore. So does it need to be rezoned before we can even look at using it as a multi whatever?
Yeah,
Community center.
I think we should do that regardless of who owns it, just to open up the pool of possible buyers. That's where I was going with it, because I realized how limited it was, being R1 or whatever it is. So I think just making it more attractive to possible investors was my angle.
That it? Informational items.
Yeah.
I don't-
I just want to, like, I put on here Fight the Blight. That's just something I want to gauge interest on from all of you. We're selling 2 properties in the industrial park. One will get like 140,000 for, the other about 28. I think we need to extend the facade grant program to the commercial rehab district. So up and down Colby, having a match to encourage businesses to reinvest in how their businesses look, I think would be a good thing for the city. And this is money we haven't really allocated for anything, and we can just do it as a pilot program. We're just setting aside like 40,000 from the sale of those that land, and just see if it works, see if it gains traction or not. But I want to throw it out there to gauge interest, because I started like assessing from the moment I drove here for my interviews, of noticing just a shift in how things look once you hit the city. So just that whole corridor could use just an uplift. And I think a facade grant program, just like the Tifa district has down that corridor, would incentivize people to make their businesses look better. Then zone to encourage all properties to occupancy. So I think the worst thing to have in any downtown is a vacant lot or vacant building. And some of the spaces are only allowed to have retail, and I think we're missing the boat, because offices attract people, and people will spend money at the businesses that are currently open. I know there's like a dream of downtown of having all kinds of little shops and things, but malls killed the downtowns, and Amazon's killing malls. So we need to just update our policies to go with what is gonna actually attract people. We have businesses down there that aren't well attended enough as is, so I think in support of them, just allowing more businesses like the strip mall behind Chen's restaurant. There's no reason that should be zoned for retail only. It's a good spot to have offices of any sort. It's a pretty small parking lot, so thinking you have like a big box store come in, I don't think it's going to happen. And it hasn't happened. That's what I'm going off of. It's history, not the ideal downtown. I'm just going off of reality, and I want landlords to continue to want to invest in the downtown, and if we're limiting who they can rent to, I don't think it's a good look.
Tom, the idea for retail in your major downtown is that if you have any retail down there, if you put more offices in there, you're not gonna have more retail come there, because there's not gonna be any walkable, you don't get much from an office. You get some people who work there. That's not gonna be enough to, patronize a little coffee shop if that happens down there. So you need the retail, you need something, and retail's always been the idea to draw people in there. And what I'm worried about is kind of the chicken and the egg. If people come in and see that we don't have people walking in our downtown, they're probably not gonna open a little ice cream parlor or something. So I would like to revisit the whole concept of our downtown, look at the blueprint again. The blueprint, 2006, but it still had a lot of good ideas. I get what you're saying, but if we have mostly office downtown, it's gonna be dead. It won't be a downtown anymore, so.
I would agree. I think a lot of thought was put into it already, but I think it's good to revisit, and I think it needs more than the 7 of us to have that input. We need to get a lot of input, because you're right. It's stagnant as it is. Limiting what people can do not only makes people mad, but it limits what they can do. It is like a bit of a chicken and an egg, and I don't think this, no offense to any of you, but I don't think the 7 of us can make that call without a lot of input. I don't know if that's public input, because it's everybody's town, so how can we?
Well, back when it was brought up the last time, we had a few people get everybody else up in arms about it. And they all came to council meeting and yelled about, well, we've got an insurance agency on the corner, and the problem with it, we've all got a lot of life experiences, and we all know what a good downtown looks like and what a thriving downtown looks like. That ain't it. I'm sorry to be the hard, but that ain't it. When you at 5 o'clock on a Friday night, when you can throw a stone down and not hit a person, something's wrong. Doctors' offices, dentists' offices, they all close. They go home Friday. They come back on Monday. Your downtown is dead. You got nothing. You got 3 bars and the 2 places that sell stuff down here. In a hardware store, and the Wesco. There's no. I guess Candy Beach is down there, but there's no. Not to sound bad, but go to Pentwater once in the summertime. Oh my gosh, you can't get through the crowd. And why? Because the stuff's open, the people are there, and it draws people to want to be. People want to be with people. That's why we made the downtown. That's why we put the pocket park in. That's why we did the North Mears project. You want to get people downtown, just like Monday nights. Huge draw downtown. Yeah. Huge draw. You got those people. They buy stuff at Wesco. They buy fuel. They go to Fetch. They go in. All that stuff happens. We've got a social district down there. That's why that was put in. Get your people downtown. If you put something in that's going to be open till 5 o'clock and closes, it's going to die on the vine. And again, that's just my old opinion, but
I think that's where the thinking was behind the current.
No, I understand the theory. I'm just going off of what I see now.
Yeah.
I totally concur with the theory. Absolutely. But I walk downtown Grand Haven, there's a mix.
Yeah.
I walk down Key West, there's a mix.
But they've got much longer stretches.
Sure.
We've just got a very short stretch.
And longer summers.
permanent summer.
There is really good thinking on that. And then we have to recognize that we're gonna have our winter folks and we're gonna have our summer folks, but the summer is when a lot of our businesses make their money, but I just think it takes, I think the thing that has really been a challenge for me is that we know that downtown needs help, and there's a lot of little pieces that we're working on, but it really takes more sustained thought, I think, from at least council, because some of us have lived here forever, some have new eyes that are bringing to it, and I think there's good practice on this already from towns that might be similar to ours, and maybe there's a consultant to take us through some.
We had 2.
But that was a long time ago.
No, wasn't that? In the big scheme of things, we had 2 come in. The
Blueprint was
the
2006.
Blueprint one, and the funny thing is they both said the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they
We just don't
they
do
didn't
it.
miss. What was the walkability or the walkable?
Oh,
Can't
Dan
remember.
Burn,
Dan
the
Burn
walk.
came
Yeah, we walked around town.
Very intelligent man came in, and he's done this all over.
Oh yeah,
Those studies should be somewhere, and
the Blueprint and then
and the
Dan
Blueprint,
Burn.
well, I think it was the state of Michigan one or something. They came in and said stuff. But
And it's really tried and true stuff, even
Mm-hmm.
in today's climate. But we need to work it more.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
quite
why I
honestly,
like
I
your
think the
ideas.
facade grant extended that Dan Burn. I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
That is.
Me too.
And us doing that, making that whole area from shore to shore or from city limit to city limit, that was smart money on our part. But
Maybe
that's
this,
what we gotta do.
maybe this thinking about the downtown zoning marries up with the master plan work. Aren't we getting
Yeah.
ready to get that started?
Yeah, it's fine.
So-
And again, I knew there was gonna be some
That's a good
space in
idea.
this work session, so that's why I threw this on there. I knew it, I'm not looking for a decision, but I'm just
Yeah.
trying to gauge interest.
Well,
It's definitely worth looking at,
You know,
always.
And one more thing, now you're talking about fight the blight. I consider blight, and this council has done it in the past, but it hasn't gone the past few years, is the junk pickup. I still wholeheartedly think that's one of the best things other than the leaf and the stick pickup, what we did. We had the junk pickup. It was everybody put their junk out by the road, and we hired a company to come pick it up. And they
1 or 2 days, not
Yeah,
like anytime you feel like chucking out your
It
cow.
was over a weekend, and
The first of May.
yeah, and Sunday or Monday morning they came and picked it up. The cool thing is the junk people came through town, and we lost probably 3/4 of
Yeah,
it
so
out
it
there
wasn't-
anyways.
wasn't that
They picked it
bad?
up, put it in their vehicle, and took it away. So it worked great. I mean, by the tonnage, but
Yeah.
I think
I think we did it in conjunction with the free dump days.
yeah,
because
we
then
did.
we had
And
free
quite
landfill.
honestly, I mean,
That's a great
it
idea.
it helped. I mean, the town
People
looked
loved
better.
it. They'd go around and pick out stuff.
People
they
got rid of
wanted.
their stuff. I mean, it's been
All the stuff you see laying in the alleys now.
exactly.
People have an
Or
opportunity
stuff-
once a year to bring it out,
Yeah.
put it out by the road and get
When
rid
did
of
it
it for
stop?
free. Pardon me?
Financial.
The win.
When was that? The last
We-
time? It's
we
probably
were
been
on-
10 years, hasn't
No.
it?
At least.
You think?
Really? I don't recall it very many times. In that.
No, it was
I thought
it was annual for a while. I mean, and then it went to semi-annual, which quite honestly, semi-annual probably would be every other year. Probably wouldn't be bad.
It was cost, but I
But there was
thought,
a cost there.
well, the thing that I always wondered about is the cost was the weight of things.
Yes.
Now, here's my thought is, I know at least half of that stuff disappeared and
Oh,
because
absolutely.
so why was it so heavy then? So I was always a little suspicious of that because, you know, what is the cost when, you know,
Yeah.
people in town are just, you know,
Yeah.
picking, which is good, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. And I remember the days of the dial-a-dump. You guys probably, Tanya
what?
probably remembers it. The dial-a-dump, where people used to, you don't remember that? The city had the program where if you wanted a dump truck in your yard to put all your junk in for,
Maybe.
they'd call up and it was X amount of dollars and they parked up one of the city trucks in your yard, you'd fill it up and they'd take it somewhere and get rid of it.
I remember when we
But
actually.
that was probably what, 25 years, 30 years ago
It's
maybe?
gotta be more than that.
Yeah.
I remember
remember
when we
that,
had trash
dial-a-dump.
pickup.
Yep.
Remember
You
that,
hand it
Jeff?
over the weekend. It's-
Yeah, yeah,
it's like-
yeah,
it's
they
like
park
getting
it
a
at the trash
dumpster.
pick-
Yep, they park it in your
They
driveway.
bring
and-
it Friday night, but when they don't
Picked
on
it
the
up
way
Monday
home,
morning.
and then they come pick it up Monday morning.
Yep. But I think bringing that back would, I've been
That's a
always
good
been
idea.
a proponent of that, bring it back even if it's every other
Yeah,
year.
I think the deal with having, what we've gone to now with the certificate to get $25 off
Yeah.
out at the dump station is, I mean, people, for what the prices have gone up to out at the dump, the $25 off isn't making people take stuff out there. Because it's still costing them $75 on top of that for a pickup truck load to get rid of stuff, and that's why it's sitting in their backyard somewhere, is because they've accumulated way too much of it. If they'd have just gave a little bit of it to the garbage man every week, you know.
No, that's good. Even if we rent dumpsters and strategically place them.
But it's getting the problem with that, and that what we've done that too, where they put a dumpster down in a few places. But the problem with that is people people, I don't wanna say they're lazy, but they don't wanna travel. If they can travel from their backyard to their front yard and put it
40
up on the
feet.
road, it
Yeah.
works. I mean, you go through town and you look at the trash piles, it's like, where'd that come from type of thing. I mean, it's,
Not everybody has the truck to haul
yeah,
it.
and the cost to have people do it and everything
You
else.
can haul it out to the roads.
It's actually kinda entertaining, like I said, sit out there with Sharon, watch everybody go by and look
We
at
get
the
rid of
piles.
stuff in people's yards, I'm all for it.
I mean, you know, it's like you said, when people put stuff out there, anything that was metal was gone before.
Yeah, that's true.
The people we were paying to come and, you know, pick it up, anything that was metal was automatically gone.
Yep.
Some people were nice enough to come and knock on people's doors and ask them, you know, do you mind if I take this, or do you mind if I take that, or, hey, help yourself.
There are some limitations. We're not gonna take a junk car out there.
Yeah.
I would have a couple things to say. Is one that I would like to see the facade grants. I mean, that's going to make a difference up and down the street, I believe. And those people haven't had the opportunity to do that, like the ones that are in the TIFA zone.
And that's just, excuse me, that's not an unlimited bucket. I mean, you set an amount that you want and it's first come, just like the TIFA
right.
group is,
Well, the
right?
Tiffle one's $5,000
Right.
match, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Up to a match.
Up
Yeah.
to-
And the other thing is we ought to have some control about, we don't wanna build in hot pink or something, you know what I mean?
So you gotta have some standards.
There should be some standards there,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there are
Can you
standards.
actually take the money from the sale of the property in the LDFA area, out of the LDFA's
So-
budget?
It goes, the city owns it. The city owns this property. It
Okay.
happens to be in the LDFA district.
Okay, so the sale money doesn't have to go to the
It was gonna
LDFA.
go into general obligation. I even asked the LDFA, cause I didn't know either, and they're like, no, it's, city owns it, so,
No, I just, you know,
I didn't know either.
yeah, make sure.
Here-
Sorry to cut you off. You were in the middle of your things. you
Well,
were
your
saying.
idea too about the plaza, the one end of that plaza is a big piece of, is a big open area that hasn't been used in a while. That would be a good spot for an office as far as I'm concerned.
Are you talking about the one behind Chen's restaurant?
I think so. Isn't that the one that's got the laundromat on the one side?
Yep.
He's already
But,
looking at
but
community.
he was looking a while back for ideas.
He's actually looking at putting in a
No,
Lunch
we wanted
center.
input for,
input, and
yeah,
a lot of
for-
it was the community.
for a communities hall type thing.
Some-
a
yeah.
rental for like weddings and little,
Right.
and meetings and
Yeah,
stuff.
because he's limited on what he can put in there.
Right. If
That's
you
part
change
of
the
the
zoning and he could, right, into an office possibility or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm bringing up. I don't, I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
if
that
misspoke.
that
I
could
didn't
be a
have
pretty
blanket
large
control
insurance
about
office, for instance, or something like that. And then I'd like, one thing I hear is that we need a coffee shop downtown, a gathering place.
It'd be nice for somebody to snap up Chen's and do
Yeah,
something with
that-
it. It's a
that'd be a good
beautiful
place,
building,
yeah.
but, I mean,
We need to,
restaurant type businesses have not done very well for years and years. It's
it. 5
just,
months out of the year.
yeah, especially in a town like ours that's half
Chad was
tourist.
busy all the
I mean, yeah, they did fine.
Yes, he did good. His brother's doing well in Fremont.
well, a coffee shop, we used to always.
Oh, absolutely.
We used to
I
always have
wholeheartedly
one, but
agree. Yep.
that's that chicken and egg thing.
Yep.
You've gotta have people who come there and sit down and drink the coffee, and where are they gonna come from, you know? And even if you have offices down there, do you want them driving out of the business district to go have
See
coffee?
old Marats and Jimmy's
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that.
We
used to be
need
right
to
down
have-
there.
Yeah, and those people in the apartments, those new apartments would like a coffee shop, you know? So that's the reason that housing is good there,
So
so.
if there was a little bit more apartments or whatever, places to live
Yes,
that were downtown,
we need more.
a small grocery store would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Shot or something for one of the Arts Council.
Is-
He was looking at putting
Dan, do you have on your
74
list somehow helping with, like,
Really?
that's an MDOT thing, but like the curbs, like from the business district down to the end of our property.
Oh.
Sidewalks are ours, but then also, the parking lots could use some help. Is there anything we can do to help with that?
It would've been
It would, I consider that a facade. Like,
Oh, okay, you do, I didn't know that.
it's what you're looking at from the outside, so.
Anyway, we're about 7 minutes away from 6 o'clock, so it's time for public comment. Need to have time for public comment. All right.
I just wanna throw out that if I haven't concurred with it yet, that I am for the facade grant stuff also.
Thank you. I'll get the parameters and stuff and present it.
Good for now, I guess.
Get a drink of water.
Yes.
gardening space. Planting will focus on a diverse selection of fruits and veggies, as well as being complemented by landscaping such as edible perennials and native and pollinator-friendly plants. The garden will be enclosed to ensure that deer are not able to get in, and will also include key infrastructure updates such as a composting area and a small greenhouse. And then on the next page of our proposal, we have a few different outlines of the garden we're proposing. So the first highlights ground cover and the plantings that we would like to see in the space. And the second is a 3D model of what we envision the space looking like. So moving into our 5-year vision, within 5 years, we see the White Lake Community Garden as an established and well-used community resource with core infrastructure complete and the gardening functioning as a reliable public amenity. We will regularly host educational and community-focused activities, as well as foster partnerships that support stewardship and long-term sustainability. While ongoing improvements will continue in this time frame, the 5-year mark to us represents a transition from the initial development to a stable community integration. And over the next decade, our vision is to establish a publicly accessible food forest in addition to the traditional vegetable garden that we will be building this year. So food forest we see as a park-like space with edible landscaping, as well as, so it's designed as a recreational amenity as well as a local food resource. So the garden we see hosting fruit trees, berry shrubs, and other perennial plantings that residents can enjoy both while walking the grounds or also to gather to enjoy in their homes. And our plan for accomplishing this vision, we've been working on it pretty heavily throughout the off-season so we can hit the ground running. The first step of that was becoming a nonprofit organization. So as of mid-January, we're officially incorporated as a nonprofit. As of the end of January, we've obtained our EIN number, and we've also filed the federal paperwork for tax exemption. So we're just waiting to receive final confirmation on that federal paperwork, and then we will be a full nonprofit organization. So achieving this status allows us to apply for grants, accept monetary donations, and provide tax-deductible receipts to our donors, all of which will strengthen the long-term sustainability of the garden. We have composed a board of 5 directors as part of our nonprofit, myself as president, Ann Krause as our vice president, Dayton Pax is our secretary, Ken Joyce is our treasurer, and Ian Brennan is a director. We've also organized a volunteer structure for building and maintaining the space. And so the 2026 growing season will be divided into 2 primary volunteer phases. The first one of those being garden construction, and then the second being ongoing maintenance. Our first phase will focus on building the 2026 vision. It represents our greatest volunteer need, requiring substantial community work hours to bring the expanded garden space to life. Tasks will include things like excavation, fencing installation, landscaping, planting, etc. Our second phase will center on routine maintenance, which requires significantly fewer volunteer hours. Responsibilities during this phase include just ongoing tasks such as weeding and harvesting produce. According to our 2025 year-end survey, which I believe you have, over 40 community members have committed to volunteering in 2026. And to ensure that these volunteers are utilized effectively, we've organized their skills and interests into 5 categories. So we have construction, garden care tasks, administrative needs, plant knowledge, and miscellaneous for volunteers with more than one interest area. Each director on the board will oversee one of the volunteer categories to help coordinate tasks, provide guidance, and ensure efficient and meaningful volunteer engagement. For the location of the 2026 community garden, for several reasons, we're proposing it be located on the site of the old tennis courts in Slocum Park, which we plan to excavate to allow for in-ground planting. The first of those reasons is that visibility is a huge factor in the success of a community garden. So with that site being centrally located on Colby Street, the garden will be seen by both community members and tourists alike as they enter town. Walkability and accessibility are also essential considerations for us. This location is within walking distance of downtown, as well as several surrounding neighborhoods and rental properties where residents might not have access to private growing space. And for those not within walking distance, there is also adequate parking available at this site. This site will also contribute to the overall beautification and cohesion of our downtown Whitehall by visually linking businesses further east on Colby Street with those in our downtown core. The community garden creates a more connected and inviting streetscape. And it also adds to the diversity of our local offerings. This site also functionally receives appropriate sunlight for growing food to ensure that the garden can thrive throughout our growing season. And finally, our 10-year plan includes adding the food forest with shade-tolerant trees and walking paths outfitted with benches. So working with the existing trees, we believe the site has ample room to grow. In terms of more of a logistical build for the project, both weather, donor, and city approval permitting, excavation of the asphalt will begin in late April or early May, really as soon as the frost recedes and we're able to get in there. Fencing will be installed as soon as possible afterwards, and then planting will occur, like I said, as areas are completed rather than all at once at the beginning of the season. We'll organize community build days similar to our successful model last year, and we have expanded capacity with our volunteers thanks to an already established team of more than 40 participants, whereas last year we started off with 0. So we have a big leg up this year. We've also taken a sample of the soil beneath the tennis courts and sent it off for testing to see if any soil remediation will be necessary before we can plant. Community outreach is also incredibly important to us. It matters a lot that the entire community is aware of this free resource for fresh food, educational activities, in an accessible outdoor space. And to ensure that we're effectively reaching the community, we have a few different strategies in place. We have a monthly newsletter. We also have an active Facebook page. We now have a dedicated website, as well as a regular presence at the Montague Artisan Market this upcoming year. These efforts will help us reach residents of all ages and backgrounds and interests to strengthen community engagement, as well as just increasing awareness of the garden's programs and offerings. For events this year, we plan to build on the successful events we had last year and add even more. We'd love to expand into additional classes and educational opportunities. Partnerships are also a key aspect of our community garden. So we've reached out to a wide range of partners, including potential educational collaborations with local schools, area food pantries, and there's also interest from local musicians in performing at garden events. We also have received considerable support from local businesses and nonprofit organizations that are willing to contribute materials, expertise, or volunteer time. We believe that these partnerships can help broaden community engagement and really highlight the amazing resources we already have in Whitehall and see where we can add to that. And Dayton's going to go over our asks of the city.
Thank you. So my name is Dayton Pax and I'm the secretary for the White Lake Community Garden. So as Amber just outlined, we do have a few asks of the City of Whitehall for this year. The first of which is land use. So we intend in 2026 to continue functioning similarly to how we did in 2025, just with a longer term. So we're respectfully requesting a multi-year park permit for Slocum Park. Our preference is for a 5-year term. So that will allow us to provide long-term stability to our donors and to our volunteers in a few different ways. The first of which is to just by providing our donors assurance that their donations are being used responsibly. The second of which is it will allow us to invest intelligently into infrastructure such as fencing, irrigation, and landscaping. The third of which is that it will allow us to foster connections with other local nonprofits, the local school systems, all the way from the kindergarten classes all the way up to high schoolers. And the last of which is that it will allow us to plant different species that might not be able to be harvested in their first year of being planted, such as a lot of fruit trees or things like asparagus. So the second ask is water use. So in 2025, the City of Whitehall installed a water spigot out there that we use to irrigate. So we're requesting an additional 4 water spigots be put in throughout the community garden that will allow us to have a multi-zoned irrigation plan, which should hopefully allow us to minimize water usage by being able to target specific areas without needing an excessive amount of hose just laying around everywhere. It will also allow us to maintain adequate water pressure throughout the entire irrigation system. So we're also asking for the city to continue covering our water costs for the year. So in 2025, we're happy to announce that we only use $6 worth of water for the entire growing season. So as you can imagine, even if the garden grows a little bit, it's still not expected to be that big of an expense. So the next ask of the city is a portable restroom, aka a porta-john. So we're requesting a porta-john out at the community garden for the growing season, so from May 1st through November 1st, and that will give our volunteers, our event attendees, and our visitors a place to use the restroom when City Hall is closed. And then lastly, of course, is financial support. So laid out later in the proposal is our proposed budget. So it's split up into two different sections, totaling about $25,000. The vast majority of that being one-time costs for this first year. That includes major items for our infrastructure, so fencing, the labor to install the fencing, irrigation, and then any sort of soil remediation or landscaping that we might end up doing. The second part of that budget is our ongoing costs. So those are things just like planting things every single year. We might need more mulch, some straw, which makes up a far smaller portion of the total budget. So we do intend to fully intend to self-fund that approximately $25,000 budget through the use of grants and through donations or in local partnerships with other nonprofits and businesses in the area. There is a small chance that we might end up having a minor shortcoming in the budget. So while we're not asking for money currently, we might come to City Council in the coming months for any minor shortcomings that we might have. And of course, even though we're not asking for money right now, any financial support is always appreciated. So, in conclusion, we are transforming a roughly 12,000 square foot cracked asphalt pad into a living, breathing community park right on the main thoroughfare of Whitehall. Not only that, but it will provide free, fresh produce for our entire community, all while increasing our community ties through the local nonprofits and with our local school systems, all while providing an essential ecosystem for local pollinators throughout the area. So with all that being said, we kindly request that the City Council of Whitehall approves this project proposal for the Whitehall or the White Lake Community Garden. Thank you. Are there any questions for us?
Well laid out.
Yeah, you guys have definitely put a lot of time and effort
Thank you.
into your organization, and there's no doubt about that. I'm glad to see it need to expand already.
Thank you. We're excited too.
Is it to be only on the asphalt area?
That's currently our plan, yes.
Dan, had you talked with somebody about the possibility of pickleball there, right? Was there anything
I've
on
sent
that?
an email to the Whitehall Club, but never heard anything back.
Oh, I thought you talked with one of the engineers about what was or was not possible.
Oh, no, I was gonna measure, I realized it was a huge snow mound.
Yeah.
So I didn't wanna go out there.
That's
Yeah,
different.
that's
That's a different, is that now? I mean, these guys are.
well, they're arguing to take the space, and I
Well,
just
they're not, they're requesting it, and
Requesting it.
we'd have to bring that to
right.
two of our members aren't here, so we're obviously not voting on it
No.
tonight, but I'm sure Dan will put together the information and bring it probably next meeting.
Yeah, I thought that this would be a good opportunity for you to all have the
Sure.
chance to review this, have the presentation, and then vote next time. I didn't want to. I don't think it's a good idea just to read something and vote,
Yeah.
because we're offering up, or the request is for permanent space on city property that otherwise looks like an eyesore.
And I agree with Scott, you guys have put together a very nice summary for last year, a good proposal for next year. It's obvious there's a ton of support for the gardens, and, applaud the efforts, absolutely. So I'm
Thank you.
forward to seeing what the details look like, and getting council's input.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Very clear, very comprehensive. I love the ideas, and I think it really suits some of the ideas that we've already been talking about kind of a little bit of that entryway as you come in. But, years and years and years ago, probably before some of you were even, your parents were even, out of high school. When I got involved with the environmental work, there was someone from out east who was talking to me about CSAs, community supported agriculture, and I thought it was a lovely idea. I was very new to the whole, environmental movement, and he was very interested in starting something like this, and he wondered if I might help him. And I did a little talking around, but I'm like, boy, you're just so far ahead of your time. But I wish he could see what you've got planned. It's just that, I really think it's a fabulous effort. I think if you want to, anything for budgetary, I would probably suggest that our May budget session, that's when we formally look at our budget, and probably better off to plan it rather than get a request midway. And my only concern is I'm not quite sure the porta-johns are gonna make a whole lot of sense, just for a variety of reasons. But I do think Wesco's close, and it's just, this will be cool for the people in the apartments. Our idea of making the downtown more walkable. I just, good on you for such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if we know there's an event, we can unlock the entrance. There's bathrooms, there's room down here.
That would be great.
Only one thing that I want to throw out is if the city does support everything and we are going to put in a porta-john, that we make sure it's an ADA compliant.
And windproof.
Put it against the wall over here. It's just not in the river roll.
Yeah.
No, I really like it. I think it's good. A lot of support. We all supported it. I didn't think that was going to go away. So,
I guess, have you, do you own your house in Whitehall?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not moving, you're not gonna move and take off.
No, we have a daughter. We'll be here a long time.
Yeah, I that's just a concern, like the sustainability. We want to support and everything. I just want to make sure that it's going to continue having volunteers.
I was gonna ask about a succession plan, so just thank you for.
Yeah, so it's not a DPW issue.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of our directors on the board are Whitehall City residents who all own their own houses.
Oh, that's
And that's part of the reason too I wanted to have a nonprofit organization so that there's a lot of structure and stability to what we're doing here.
It probably wouldn't hurt to have a plan X, just in the event that you do have to close doors down, how, what you would do.
Mhm.
That would be helpful.
Absolutely. We could bring that to the next
Okay, not a big deal, but, that would just kind of, add that idea that, at least you know what you're gonna do if for some reason, it is not able to continue down the road.
I would, my 2 cents, I guess, is that I would not want to make a long-term commitment. I would like for it to be from 1 year to the next in case there are complaints from the community about how it looks or whatever. Sometimes they fall apart and or are not maintained properly, so they become a bit of an eyesore. So that would be my thing. I would like to do it on a year-to-year basis. And I brought up the idea of community garden there several years ago. And my wife is the one that said, you shouldn't do that because they normally end up looking kind of ratty. And so I would just like to make.
I was going to say, you should have went down and looked at the one at Hackley Hospital. So they probably had at least 2 to 3 greenhouses down there, and it was probably 4 times the size of that. And it functioned for years and years and years until it,
Right.
the hospital went and they made it a high school or middle school or whatever it is now, so, yeah, this not all.
Well, and I don't mean a big effort, but just so we know you've done a little thinking that, you know, in the event something would happen. But also, Mayor, to your comment, maybe we just throw in, some basic requirements on use of the property that relate to some of your concerns about how it looks.
Those can be included in the permit part of it.
Okay.
Absolutely, we'd be happy to consider that.
So should I draft a resolution for the next meeting?
Yeah, and then request that, Brian and Roger rewatch the presentation and read that, obviously they would, but that's why I would want everybody to be here. Well, you're not.
Yes,
I don't have
I will not be here because it's the day after my total knee replacement, but I want you to know that I would vote wholeheartedly yes.
Thank you.
If I could vote, I could vote virtually, I would do this.
Are Brian and Roger both gone next meeting? Or just Roger?
That's right, Roger's out for a month, isn't he?
Yeah,
Roger's out for 2.
2 meetings.
2 meetings.
Oh,
Brian's,
I think
I think he's here the next,
Yeah, he's the 2.
but then you'll be gone next one.
So the question I got was, were you planning on removing the asphalt, or is it something you want us to do?
Yes, we actually have a donor lined up to do it for free.
Bonus.
Yeah. I saw that in the proposal, I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty good.
Thank you. We worked hard for that one.
You had somebody that's gonna come and take it out for
Who
nothing.
is it?
It's Ryerson Brothers Excavation. They're also bringing in a load of topsoil to make it more level surface.
Oh, it's really generous.
Definitely very generous.
Putting a sign up with all the people and
Yep, we'll have another donor sign again this year.
absolutely.
Alright, so I'll prepare a resolution for either the next meeting or the first one in March. Answer then. Does that make sense?
you don't need to wait for me, but I would like to show my logo.
I think we can still do it.
We'll just come and carry you down here.
The day after.
I can get you down here.
Meet at Tammy's
I know
house.
some people.
We'll meet at her house.
I know some people I can get her down here.
I have a lot of stairs, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
If I feel good enough.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys. We appreciate the time.
Yep, thank you.
Alright. Next part of the meeting is the approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second,
Alright, any discussion?
I have one question for Dan on accounts, well, kinda on the accounts payable, but kinda just a general, more or less. How much longer do we, have, Plant Moran in our midst?
We're trying to divest from them.
I thought we had already had. but-
No, that was, well, they've gone a lot less. We had to get through the audit. We need
Okay.
them for the audit. Crystal's taking, Plant Moran University right now to make sure, just professional development. I don't see using them past April. If I were to throw a guess at it, and it's really just oversight. We're not using them like on a lot of day-to-day stuff. A lot of that they were doing was audit prep. It just wasn't done in the past.
Okay, I just, like I said,
Yeah, no, it's
I,
a good
I,
question.
I had thought we were done with it, and then I saw it again, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna ask.
Yeah, no, I'd say April.
That's all I have.
In the minutes, if I could just offer a gentle reminder that if somebody from the public speaks, their name and then which Chris Billy from the White Lake Association, but what they were speaking about, because it's got Chris Billy speaks about the White Lake Association, but I don't know, I was trying to remember what she spoke about, because I wanted to get in touch with her about it, and it just wouldn't hurt to just say
The buoy.
the buoy, okay, but I couldn't remember.
Send me a text.
So, yeah,
You can watch it on YouTube.
I actually have three things in the accounts payable. On page 2, we got a $12,900 fee from Brian Newhoff. It's got an abbreviation there, COW space DWAM. What is that?
DWAM, drinking water, asset management. So we have about $200,000 left on a grant,
Okay.
and that pays for anything you see DWAM, that typically is for that.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that. And then on page 3, we've got 2 dump boxes for trucks for a total of $34,600. Are those are existing trucks that we got apparently, right?
Those are the two trucks we just
The
bought.
trucks we bought.
Yeah, those are the two trucks we just bought last fall.
Oh, okay. So that okay.
Yeah, they come as a
4x4 and
chassis.
4x2.
They come with a basic chassis, you gotta outfit it yourself.
Okay, so I think we approved the request before, but we didn't have the cost. Okay. And I had one last thing in there too, and that was Cobra insurance. Are we paying that, the city paying that, or is that like a pass-through something that gets paid to us? Okay,
It's a pass-through.
okay.
And even on, like, I had a question about like the Walmart one for $2,000. That's a pass-through as well.
Okay.
Walmart actually funds that.
Okay. Any other questions on the consent agenda? If not, all those in favor, say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Opposed? And so the consent agenda is approved. And then messages from mayor, council, and city manager. Did you want to start out, Dan?
Sure. Aside from everything I talked about in the work session, I didn't announce it, but Derek will be retiring soon from the police department. So you may have seen a hiring post out that ended today. So Derek's going to retire. Travis is going to leave the school and take the road, and Michaela Gibson's going to go into that school resource officer position. So hired as a road officer. And then if you wanted to know how bad Brenda didn't want to be here, she broke her leg.
She did? Oh no.
Just to not come.
That's awful.
No,
It fell.
no, I'm kidding. I hope she's listening.
Is that tibia or femur?
No, she was actually going to the doctor and slipped. And so I thought I'd mention it because I'm part of the team here. So she'll be out for a little bit.
Doesn't need any more problems.
Goodness.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm sure she likes me announcing it.
Let's see.
But no, that's all I had. So she's going to be out.
Okay. I hope she gets well. All right, Tanya.
A few things. One, just a reminder about that joint meeting that I mentioned. I would like to see us at least try something with the city of Montague. Oh. I always have some people pointing at me. Just that joint meeting that I mentioned in the work session. I think it'd be great to at least start with the city of Montague and have a joint meeting, just to have an agenda and open to the public and talk about some shared opportunities. I always liked it when we did that. And March 23rd is the senior dinner. If you could RSVP to, I gave it to Brenda actually. Dan, you are copied on that as well. All of the press that needs to get out like tomorrow. I was wondering why she didn't get back to me because she's always so quick. But the RSVP will go to the senior center because she needs to know how many people. And the week before, March 16th. And then if you're not a senior, you can attend for $10. So it's definitely worth it. And then I will need February 24th off because my surgery is on the 23rd.
Make a motion to excuse Tanya from that meeting.
Second?
Okay, unless you guys can haul me over here.
I think the day after his surgery
Yeah.
is probably not smart.
Okay.
And you shouldn't be held
The
responsible.
next one after that, if you can't get around, we'll figure out a way to get you.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Just, that's probably enough discussion, right? Do, that approved by everybody, say yes.
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 All right, opposed, no. Yes, no,
Opposed, say
I
no.
approve it.
Did you say no?
Okay. Debbie.
Another shout out to the DPW snow removal team. It's really well done. And also I see a lot more people walking than I have in winters past, despite the fact that it's been super cold. I've seen more people out walking the streets, and I think it's because they have a place to walk in. So again, thanks for that.
Scott?
I'll ditto that. The dog appreciates you also. I have kind of almost like a question, I guess, for Dan again. I don't know that we ever got around to our audit being completed.
Yeah, I answered the email. It's on our website,
Okay,
and I have hard copies for the council.
okay, that's, we've usually kind of all gotten copies and gone over.
We're gonna have a presentation on the 24th,
Okay,
with the auditors.
that's all I have.
And Jeff?
Just one little sad bit of note, gentleman owned Irving's in Whitehall, Irving Craigman passed away on, I believe it was Friday. Everybody probably knew him. Owned Irving's in Whitehall, Montague, or Whitehall in Thorpe Muskegon. Anybody that went to Walmart this last winter, he was out ringing the bell for and he also sold cars to Montague forever. So, just want to let everybody know that Irving has passed.
I got a call Sunday at lunchtime from a customer or a resident that had a sewer backup, and they were convinced it was from the city line being clogged. That turned out not to be the case. The city line was open. It was from the line into their basement. And so it wasn't a good thing for them. It was not a day for them that they would celebrate, but they were really happy that the city's response was so quick. And I went up to see him, and the city truck was already there, and assured him that the line was flowing well. It was in their system. But anyway, people are appreciating prompt service on things like that, and that's, I think, the only thing I had. So then, public comment.
Ken Sear, Muskegon County Commissioner, District 1. I just want to share something with you. There was a community project that was funded. Kim Arter from Layton Township and Jeff Marcinkowski from Fruitland Township went in and requested money for this project. It's going to amount to a little over $9 million. What it is, it's a motorized path along Scenic Drive. It's going to start on the north end of the north end of Fenner Road, Muskegon State Park. It's going to start there and go up Scenic Drive, and it's going to terminate in up in Dalton or Duck Lake at Duck Lake Road. So you'll be able to take walk, bike, whatever non-motorized vehicle all the way from Muskegon State Park up to Duck Lake State Park. So that project, I'm not sure when it starts, but apparently the money's been approved for it, so it's going to be interesting. And Tanya, the day after, you're not going to be feeling any pain. That's the way it is.
Thank you.
Anyone else got anything to say tonight? All right. So we got old business. Any old business? Nope. New business. We have a request from the Knights of Columbus to have a tag day on March 28th this year. And I don't know if we need a motion on that. I guess we probably
Yeah.
do need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the Knights of Columbus Tag Day request.
I'll second that.
Any discussion needed? Okay, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Okay, so that's approved. Next up is a request from the Snow Farmers pertaining to a fountain, a drinking fountain. Need a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve the estimate share of the city, for a drinking fountain down by the Chamber of Commerce. And the city share would be approximately $1,750.
I'll support.
Any discussion?
I'll just throw out what I threw out last time this was presented to us, that I think it would have been a lot cheaper to just put it on the Chamber of Commerce building rather than having to go through running the plumbing and the drainage and pouring a pad and everything else. I don't think it was very well thought out, but I'm not gonna stand in its way.
Is this a subject that we should put to our budget for next year, or is this something that we have money
I
to
think
do?
it's
What's
a
the,
small enough amount.
okay,
It'll just be done through amendment.
I was hoping they had a representative here that could answer a couple of questions and,
do they? They do.
oh, they do? Oh, good.
I can give it a shot. I was asked to be here for the Snow Farmers, so.
Okay.
Cool.
Is this, I'm mostly concerned with maintenance if something should freeze up on it. This has plastic part, there's nylon tubing in it and something like that. Does this need to be shut down in the fall and started up again in the spring? Is there risk of this thing freezing and having a problem later on? And how deep are the lines gonna run? Are they gonna have the possibility of freezing too?
I believe it does need to be drained in the winter months. But the lines are already there. There is a water run out to that spot, is my understanding.
Did there used to be a fountain there? Well, I mean, that would be great if there is. I don't know. I don't wanna. I'd like to be assured that we're not gonna be on the hook for, having a problem later on.
May I?
Sure.
I know we've got a drinking fountain at Colby and Mears, we've got a drinking fountain down by the marina, and they're both handled by the DPW. I'm sure will be built to the same spec that those are, and they will drain it, and it's on our property, so I'm sure that will be drained and maintained just like those other two are, so.
Yeah, Don went with them to figure out exactly what they need.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's involved, so I trust that he
Okay.
has a plan for it.
All right. Any other discussion?
Why did we decline it last time?
Um,
Or did
so-
we? I don't.
Yeah, well, you said you wanted to see how much they could fundraise, the exact amount.
Okay.
And you'd entertain covering what wasn't raised.
Okay, cool.
I guess that's one other thing too. If it does go over budget, is that gonna be picked up by the snow farmers?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Any other discussion?
I want to mention they had their event over the weekend, and they're a good group, and they do some fun things.
Oh, I agree.
The cardboard race.
Yeah, and there was, it brought some people into town, so I thought that was kind of cool.
So we want.
Yeah.
Fireplace got used, I'm sure.
Okay. All in favor?
Got a roll call. This is an unspent.
What's
roll
that?
call.
That's a
You need a
roll.
roll
Oh,
call.
roll call, that's right, okay.
Kamala,
Yes.
Woodring,
Yes.
Zero,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holmstrom.
Yes.
All right. So that resolution passes. The next one up is resolution 2608, which is issuance of tax bonds.
You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
25 pages.
Yeah, so you see like about halfway through, it looks like it's not completed, but that's for the bond folks to fill out. This is just basically the next administrative step toward getting that bond.
All right, I'll move resolution 26.08 -08. Resolution to authorize issuance of general obligation limited tax bond series 2026.
Second.
Discussion? All right.
I think you pretty much covered it in
Right.
the work session.
Work session.
Definitely has to be roll call.
Roll call.
Yep. So Holmstrom,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Kabala,
Yes.
Zemer.
Yes. So that passes. And then next up is our second opportunity for public comment.
Good evening. My name is John Roble. I'm with the Knights of Columbus, and I know you approved our tag day. Just for information, some people might not know, it's for the mentally impaired. And part of the money goes to Special Olympics. The other one goes to No More Sidelines in Muskegon. And they kind of, kids do sports with them, but they don't compete like that. And Mr. Mahan could tell you all about it, because when my son played soccer, that's the first time they dealt with it. And it's really a great program for them and stuff like that. And also, we are having our annual fish fry. Little public commercial here. First responders, police, military, veterans, everybody. This Friday, the meal is $8 for them. Now, if you're married or have boyfriend, girlfriend, they have to pay full price. But the vast majority of the money we get stays pretty much locally in this general area. We help the food pantry and different things, the pregnancy center, et cetera, Love Inc. and stuff like that.
You might want to mention.
And it's an award-winning dinner. We have people come from Ludington, Grand Rapids, Holland. Last year we had somebody all the way from Chicago came to our dinner.
You might want to mention where it's at so everybody.
And it's at St. James Catholic Church. It's from 4:30 to 7:30. We have dine-in and takeouts both. You can do it online to order takeouts and stuff like that. And like I said, it's a good time. We raise a lot of money for the community and stuff like that, and we have a good time. The people that are all volunteer, we're totally wore out after 7 weeks, but that's
You remember
then
what
we have
your,
another year to catch up again.
you remember what your biggest meal count was last year?
We didn't make it to 1,000 last year.
900
No, it was
something.
under that. I think it was 900 something.
Yeah.
One year, several years ago, one time we actually did almost 1,200 meals. We do that in 2.5 hours.
On one Friday.
It's a great time, and it's all fresh caught stuff.
It's great perch, I'll tell you.
Yep, it's all fresh caught mountain fish from Kazakhstan, Poland, areas like that, and stuff like that. And
Good stuff.
Yep.
And you can't get a meal at a restaurant for at least double the price of what we charge too, and stuff inclusive. It's all inclusive package, dessert, and everything else like that. Okay.
I've enjoyed that in the past. Thank you very much.
See you Friday.
Anybody else got a comment tonight? If not, God bless Whitehall. We are adjourned today.
The e-bike.